Going through life and experiencing things is a given. We experience up and down, straight and curve, highs and lows, joy, sorrow, back and forth, uphill, downhill. If it isn't one thing, it's another. You just name it, we go through it. And it seems like it's never going to end. And that is what is called life. Life is a cornucopia of all kinds of experiences. Sometimes it deals us a very heavy blow and we wonder what hit us. But then, we all have to get to a place of acceptance. It may take some longer than others, but we all get to that point. When we get to that point, we see our situation for what it is. We're not denying the effect of it, but we accept it as something that we need to pay attention to. Now, there are two ways in which we can approach our acceptance. We can choose to accept it as something to live with, or we choose to accept it as something to live through. You can either choose to live with it, as unpleasant as that experience is, or you choose to live through it. When we accept a situation as what we should live with, we are accepting it as our fate, which is F-A-T-E. But when we choose to see it as something to live through, we're seeing it as a phase, P-H-A-S-E. And what happens to phases? They pass. So when we accept an unpleasant experience as fate, we make room for it. We give it permanent residency. We decide, this is what I'm going to live with for the rest of my life, so let me create space for it, because it's going to be a permanent fixture. But when you see it as a phase that will pass, the mentality is, this is going to end someday. It is not going to have permanent residency in my life. It's not going to become a permanent fixture in my life. It will pass. And when you know it will pass, you prepare yourself for life post the experience. When you know that this is a temporary situation, you begin to see the life you want post that situation. So as you see it, you're going through it, but you're growing as well. So, grow through what you go through. Grow, G-R-O-W, what you go, G-O, through. Because if you're going through things, there is always a potential in that experience to grow you. You only need to see it as such. You only need to see it as a phase that is passing, but you need to take the lesson before the phase passes. So as you go through it, grow. Grow. Because what you go through, has potential to grow you. Now, if you're set to accomplish a task, let's bring it down to reality now. If you are set to accomplish a task, you will be very strategic. Because you will devise a method. You will analyze as you go. You will see what's working and what's not working. You will take the lessons that are vital from that experience, and then you know what to do and what not to do next time. That's how we grow through what we go through. I believe things don't just happen to us. They happen for us. And that is me. That is my experience, and that's my attitude. Things don't just happen to me, they happen for me. Therefore, I have learned to always seek out the lessons in whatever happens to me, so I can turn the adversity into advantage. And that is how you grow. I try not to be bitter, because if I'm bitter, I cannot get better. And if I don't get better, my life post that experience will be miserable. So I try not to be bitter in order to get better, so that I have a better experience post that unpleasant one. An unpleasant experience in itself is not necessarily the worst thing that could happen to us. I believe the worst thing that could happen is for that experience to come and go and you haven't grown. Because you can't roll back the hands of time. If we miss the opportunity for growth in what we go through, that will be tragic. So I say again to you, grow through what you go through. Grow through whatever it is, good, bad, not so good, not so bad. Just make sure that you're growing with the experiences that you have. So whatever it is you're going through today, rule your world with good thoughts and brilliant ideas.